America in general is a baby compared to all these other nations and countries. America is a baby, a powerful baby, but it's a baby nonetheless. And the history of America, Black history, is intertwined with those, I'm gonna say, few years, because like I said, America is a baby. So just saying, hey, forget about it. It wasn't that long ago where we couldn't drink from the same fountain.
Keep overlooking life, but that's the biggest blessing. Just engage with who you are and throw the biggest wedding. Just think of this as food for thought. You feel I'm overstepping. I got a good degree in knowledge. If it's ever question, I'd rather see you shining than a
Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to Chasing OK Life's Marathon, a podcast about anything and everything presented by LiveOK. LiveOK is centered around promoting mental health awareness. Visit Shop LiveOK, that's ShopLiveOK.com, where the proceeds go towards making a difference. Now let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Chasing OK Life's Marathon. This is episode 31, I believe, and we're just going to keep progressing, keep doing things. Getting into it, this is going to be a medium stream. I don't think it's going to be that long, but I do think I'm going to break this one up into segments and post them individually and as a whole. But there's just some things that I want to talk about that I think deserve to be placed in different segments, especially for the month that we are in. Its third day of Black History Month. So happy Black History Month to, everybody who celebrates and everybody who is involved in Black History Month, which is everybody in America and outside of America. But, we're not going to get into technicalities or anything like that. So let's talk about what the pod is going on to be today. Words that just came out of my mouth didn't make sense, but, it is what it is. Those that are familiar with the pod, especially as of recent, we are going to be breaking it into segments. So we will talk about our sports, we will talk about our current event, we will talk about the topic of the day. And for our guest, spoiler alert, we don't have one. For lack of trying. I was about to say not for lack of trying, but it is for lack of trying. I do have people, like I said previously, that I do want to have on, getting my ducks in a row, and I will have my people on. There will be some more guests in the couch, and there will be some more travel pods. The one that I want to do most is a distance travel pod. But like I said, I got to get some ducks in a row. But when that one happens, everything will be set in place. There are some changes being made in my life for the better. So yeah, like I said, once I get my ducks in a row, once everything is lined up the way I want it to, I'll have my people on. We'll keep those interviews coming, and maybe one day this year we'll have back guest interviews, and you just won't be able to see my wonderful face that's been going through change. I don't feel like shaving sometimes, and my hair is growing long, but it is what it is. I'm doing all right. Hope y'all are doing well, and let's get into the pod. But one quick thing that I want to touch on that I forgot to pull up. We are getting more and more subs, and I appreciate everybody that's liking, sharing, supporting, doing everything that's below. We are currently at 75 subs. That means we need 25 more subs, and then we get to our 100. And then I got to beg, not really beg, but get the money from the people that said they'll throw in an extra 50. So started out with 50 when I said did it myself. Then it went to 100. Now it's at 150. If somebody else wants to donate 50 to give to some lucky 100th subscriber, then I'll welcomely take your money to give to someone else, because that's what we're here for. We're here to give back. We're here to spread positivity, promote mental health, and just be a positive force in the world. But like I said, we're at 75 subscribers. We got 102 videos in total out, and it is episode 31 that we are filming right now. So go like, share, subscribe. Go, tell your friends to view the pod. I appreciate it. And if once we get to 100, then we set the next goal. We just keep accomplishing our goals. We keep doing great things. There is something that I have been thinking about doing as of yesterday. Since it is Black History Month, I'm thinking maybe starting today or tomorrow, I'll throw out a Black History fun fact or just fact. I don't know if it's a fun fact, but whatever. I'll throw out a Black History fact every day on social media and Instagram stories for the entire month of February. So we'll see how my brain works for that. But yeah, let's get into the rest of the pod. With our sports segment. I was right. The people that I said are going to be in the Super Bowl are in the Super Bowl. I know my divisional championship was way off. Because, you know, that's just how life works. Sometimes you get things wrong. But my pre-division championship was way off. But my division championship winners was correct. We got Seattle versus the Patriots. And I'm going to put all my money on Seattle. Yeah, Seattle defense is doing good. Sam Darnold is doing really good. And, yeah, I think everything's it's just set up for Seattle to win again. But I think Drake May and the Patriots will get a few down the line, especially if you know, everybody stays healthy, everybody plays their best ball, draft picks, etc. Go on. But that is my Super Bowl prediction. I got the Seahawks winning. I don't have a number for you. But if you do watch football and if you are watching the Super Bowl, you heard it here first. Seahawks, well, probably not first, but I got the Seahawks winning. And that is next week. So next pod, we will be talking briefly about the winner of the Super Bowl. Indiana, I think that happened in between our last couple episodes, or was it last episode? I'm not 100% sure. But Indiana won the national championship for college football. Congratulations to them. I'm not that big on Mendoza. I don't know why. I really can't tell you why. I don't watch a lot of film on him. It's just every time I see him, I'm just like, I don't know if you're going to be that good in the NFL. I hope he is. I don't wish for anybody's downfall. I don't wish anybody to be unsuccessful. I wish everybody has the best careers they could possibly have. It's just when I see him, I'm just like, I don't know. It's just I don't get that feeling. But that's just me talking. Like I said, I hope his career is great. I hope he does do well, and I believe that the Raiders or Jets are slated to pick him up. And yeah, he's probably gonna have a rough first year like Cam Moore did, and hey, we'll see what happens. Everybody progresses with time. Everybody does great with time, and you know, we'll see. Bill Belichick was snubbed as a first ballot Hall of Famer head coach. I do not know why. Nobody knows why is the question in everybody's head. Because he is I believe, most winningest head coach. He's been to the most Super Bowls. He has the most Super Bowl wins. So it's kind of weird that he's not in. I don't know if Tom Brady's eligible yet. I believe he might be. Because if Tom Brady is a first ballot Hall of Famer, which everybody knows he is, then the coach who was their legacies and careers of like its high point line up together until he went to Tampa. Yeah, if his quarterback is a first ballot, then I believe the coach should be a first ballot, especially with his resume. Maybe his girlfriend, you know, is throwing things off for the people. I don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't know. I'm just kidding. That is just a joke for those who take things a little too serious. But since he got snubbed this year, I think it's 100% chance that he will be a Hall of Famer. Next induction, which I believe is next year. I think they do it every year. I'm not even sure how things work over in that world because, you know, I should be in the Hall of Fame because I should have played in college. I should be playing currently in the NFL because I'm the greatest athlete in the world. That's not a joke for everybody that listen to my last joke and think this one's a joke. No, I'm the best athlete in the world. And if you don't believe that about yourself, it's I don't believe in cockiness. I feel like cockiness, because, you know, it just rubs people the wrong way. But you can be confident in your ability. I believe in confidence in your ability. And sometimes confidence can come off as cockiness. But I just feel they're two different things to me. I'm confident in my abilities. And when I know somebody's better than me, then I'll be like, yeah, he's better than me. And the only person I think that is better than me at football is my brother. But I be watching some people, I'll be like, yeah, he jump, maybe, yeah, he tall, but hey, I'm still him. Especially, you know, I'm not gonna go into a tangent about what I didn't do in life. So just moving on, I do want to talk about two quick things which kind of align with each other. Still in sports, switching teams and getting traded, I feel throws off people's careers or legacies, for lack of a better word. I know LeBron is some people's GOAT. He's my GOAT because I don't remember Jordan playing. So LeBron is my GOAT, and he was on the Cavs, the Heat, back to the Cavs, then the Lakers. Switching teams, you know, won championships in all instances, except for the first stint with the Cavs. So, you know, he decided to switch teams to be in the best position for him to win championships. And then, you know, he's like, gotta bring one back home to my home. So he won one in Cleveland. Then he went to LA, and, you know, he won one in LA. He probably will win another one, hopefully, before he retires this year or next year. But, you know, we'll see what happens. If the story script writers are at play, then he will win one before he retires. Win another one before he retires. But switching teams, like, I don't know. I know I'm not the only one. KD switching to Golden State at their peak, which they don't really need him. But, you know, if you get a superstar on an already superstar team, then you're gonna get great things. So he went over there, got him 2 rings, I believe. Excuse me. Then I think he went to Brooklyn. So it was OKC, then Golden State, then Brooklyn, then the Rockets. I don't know where he went between Brooklyn and the Rockets. I forgot. He's been jumping too much. But I just feel like that's tarnishing his legacy by having to jump. Oh, it was the Suns. By having to jump with teams. Because at a point, I feel like if you're not winning in the situation that you're in, maybe it's not the team. Maybe it's you. I mean, you can be great, but if you can't be great and make the people around you also great, then how good are you really? And I'm not, like I said previously, I'm confident in my abilities, and I know that KD, if we ever play 1-on-1, will wax me 50-0, maybe 50-3, because I'm gonna throw up something and it's gonna fall. If we play for like 3 hours, I'm throwing up something. You give me a little bit of space, one of those shots are gonna fall. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go scoreless, but I know he's and I'm not a real big basketball player, but I'm not one of those people that's gonna criticize somebody and not acknowledge that they're light years ahead of me when it comes to like their sport. But I just think all that switching teams is tarnishing his legacy. But those are just examples that I want to point out, because I feel like a lot of people are switching teams. A lot of people want to be great or are really good, but they can't be good in their situation. I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know if it's the team that's built around them. So they keep switching. And I just feel like switching teams, you know, if you can stick with one team, like Kobe, if you can stick with one team and then be there for the worst, the best, and then back to worst, and then getting back to greatness, I just feel like those are the people whose legacies, you know, who deserve to be on stadiums, Ring of Honor, and get their jerseys retired and things of that nature. So I just think switching teams is a is kind of weak, you know. But I mean, if you play for the Browns and you know you got you're Myles Garrett and you just keep losing, but the bag keep throwing at you, getting thrown at you. You know, you take the money, but you want to try to win something. Maybe you should leave. But yeah, he's still there. Hopefully, the new situation in Cleveland brings some success so that Myles Garrett can, you know, feel some success for his efforts. And I think that's also why it's been pointed out, but that's also why Indiana was so good. I know a lot of their players were older. I don't know if they all were with Indiana for like a long span. Maybe some of them transferred in as older players, but they were all older. They all weren't highly touted as like 4 or 5 star recruits. I think there were a bunch of 3 stars and maybe a couple 4 stars, but they were just, you know, building upon what they had. And I think also Clemson does that, or Syracuse, some other team does that. But I just think building that cohesiveness with your team and building from nothing to making it something better is something good. And also that also pertains to the coaches, because coaches go in somewhere and they take a failing program, make it successful, and that successful program, you know, everybody's getting excited about the program being successful, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, I made this program successful. Now let me go to a bigger school, like the coach did for my alma mater, North Texas. You know, came in, made North Texas relevant, and then he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to a bigger school, Oklahoma State, and take half the players with him. But I mean, everybody chases the bag, everybody chases something, so maybe he's trying to get to the league, be a league head coach, and you know, those are just the steps on the ladder that you need to take. So I guess moving to take those steps up makes sense, but I don't know, maybe I'm just one of those people that be like, hey, if you started something, you should finish it, and, you know, try to build that legacy with you, because you never know if he, you know, stayed at North Texas and kept making them better each year, then hey, you know, maybe he get a statue outside the stadium for being, you know, the best coach, like Coach K at Coach K. I don't know. I know it's one of the blue schools, but I don't want to say the wrong one and get canceled. So I know it's one of the blue schools. I forgot which one right off the bat, but like Coach K, the basketball coach, you know, he been there for forever. But that also, just to end off the switching teams, the transfer portals, I know a lot of prominent coaches have been speaking out against it, or just, you know, changing it up. Kids out here chasing the bag don't want to go to the league because they're not guaranteed a starting position, or not guaranteed to go to a decent team. So they're staying in school. The basketball player for, I think it was Oklahoma City's G League, decided to go back to play college again because he wasn't technically a pro or didn't get drafted, or one of the two. So people, you know, just like, hey, if the situation isn't right for me, or if the bag is, you know, bigger on the other side, then I'm gonna go chase the bag. But hey, chasing the bag can also tarnish what you are building. Like, I think it was Tennessee's quarterback, Ilya, I don't know his name. He tried to go chase the bag, and the bag kept running away, and then he had to take less. I mean, just stay in your positions, you know, try to build something. Try not to chase the bag, because the bag gonna come eventually. But I don't know people's situations. I don't know what people are going through. I don't know, you know. Sometimes people just be like, hey, if I'm playing here and, you know, I'm starting, but, you know, they only give me $4 million. But if I go here, I can also start, but now I'm going to get $6 million. I mean, who's going to turn it down? I just think there needs to be some more regulations on the transfer portal and the NIL money and just how that whole thing is treated. I think I forgot the coach's name or which exact coach said it, but it was like you should be limited to how many times that you can transfer. Like get one transfer because you never know, that situation that you thought was going to be good isn't as good as you thought. So you get to transfer, and hopefully that situation is better. But you shouldn't be like, all right, I'm gonna go to Syracuse. Oh, Syracuse is booty. All right, I'm gonna go to Bama. Oh, Bama's not as good as I thought they was, even though Bama's always good. All right, I'm gonna go to Miami. Like, just stay in one place, build something, cause I know skill gets you a skill can get you a lot of places, but being like a team, having that camaraderie, everybody knowing everybody's tendencies makes for a better team. Like some schools and some programs are plug and play. Like you can just take somebody that can get the ball to where it need to be, throw them in, and make things happen. But experience and experience and being able to grow with a group, I think makes all the difference. But I'm just a talking head at the moment, so that's all I gotta say about sports and NILs and transfers and the Super Bowl. And that was longer than I wanted to talk about it, but if I know I went on a bunch of tangents and I ramble a lot, but I think everybody understands what I'm talking about. And if you don't, comment, like, subscribe, do everything, and we can have a conversation about it. Maybe have a phone call, we can go on Zoom, we can talk about it, and I'll give my opinion, you give yours, and that's how things work. But other than that, let's get into our next segment. Alright, so our current event for this episode, the Epstein files have almost fully been released. I think they said 3 million files or pages have been released. 3 million of 6 million. Like, I don't know how, like, 1 million pages of something is wild. It's a lot of Harry Potter books. It's the biggest book I can think of right now. It's a lot of Harry Potter books. I think Harry Potter books like 600 pages. I don't know. Let's look it up. Alright, so the Harry Potter book, we're going to go with the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, is how you goobers say. Sorcerer's Stone is about 320 pages. Alright, so 1 million pages divided by those 320 pages of that Harry Potter book is 3,125. So people are reading 3,000 Harry Potter books of Epstein files. I mean, obviously, there's not that many word count, but that's how many pages. So 3,000 Harry Potter Sorcerer's Stones. This is 1 million. 6 million, or 6,000. 9,000. They released 9,000, probably let's say 9,500 Harry Potter books that people got to go through just to get half of the files. That's wild. That's a lot of pages. I don't know how big the team is. And then they got to go through and start redacting stuff, so they got to read it. Like, oh, can't keep that. Oh, can't keep that. Oh, can't keep that. And then they missed a bunch of stuff. I don't know. The world we living in is wild. But back to it. The files have been released. A lot of stuff has been revealed that we already knew, that we didn't know. Some wild names have been revealed. Don't know their exact nature. In the whole thing, some people were partying, some people weren't. Some videos a lot of videos are disturbing. Some pictures are disturbing. But the major question I want to ask is, what now? Epstein is supposedly dead, because there was a video I saw the other day where there was like, or part of the files where there was like, hey, this was said by this prison guard, and Epstein's body was taken out and not examined on the scene or whatever. So he may be, people think he's just, being himself in Israel. Don't know the connections that we have with Israel, because I'm not a political science person that reads into everything, that wants to understand. Well, I do want to understand it, but I don't want to research it. But another tangent that I don't want to get into. But yeah, so what happens now? Like, who gets prosecuted? Who goes to jail? Who gets, some type of penalty in some way, shape, or form? Like it was said by other people, by many people, and I second the statement. If you mess with a child, your life, shouldn't be continued. That's what I believe. I have two nephews. I have a niece. I have some, non-blood related nephews and nieces. Godsons and goddaughters, and people that I care about. And if something were to happen to them, I feel obligated to hurt you. Like if I had a child, like I feel like if something happened to somebody's child and that father or mother was like, yeah, you did this to my child, so I'm gonna do unto you what you did unto her or them, him, her, them. I feel like that parent shouldn't get in trouble whatsoever, especially if the law ain't doing what the law's supposed to be doing. And I know that promotes vigilantism and all those things, but I'll die for my sister. My sister about to be 22. Any man that she gets, the first day I'm gonna tell him, treat her good. If you lay your hands on her, I'm going to jail. It is what it is. Point blank period. I don't care what anybody say. You lay your hands on my sister, when I have children, you lay your hands on my children, I'm going to jail. I hope that I pray that never happens. But if that situation were to arise, I'm going to jail. And I feel like a lot of parents feel that way. And if you don't feel that way, then something's wrong with you. But that's a tangent. I went on for a second. I just feel like there should be more accountability. I want to know what happens next. I don't care if anybody in the files is black, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, yellow, purple, orange. Something should happen to them. Liberal, Republican, independent. I don't care who you affiliate with. If your name is in the files and you did some messed up stuff to a child, it doesn't even really have to be a child. If you did to a child, something definitely should happen to you. If you did it to anybody, unwilling, something should definitely happen to you. That's just how I feel. But yeah, so I don't want to go too much into it. I just that's the question I want to ask. If you know, comment. I'll keep y'all updated as I figure out what happens to people. But yeah, if you done something bad, if you're in the files, now that all the files, well, most of the file, half the files have been released, I think something should happen. And it's really weird that I know a lot of people are talking about it, but I feel like not enough people are talking about the fact that we have a PDF in the White House, and we had, I don't know if it was PDF or just doing some weird stuff, but we had one, maybe two in the White House. But nah, y'all just want to redirect, deflect, move the ladder. It's like, yeah, he did it, but what about, nah. Yeah, he did it, so, he should be in trouble, and the what about person should be in trouble too. But don't try to say, yeah, but, nah, yeah, and, yeah, he did it, and he did it, and he did it, and she did it, and they all, get the treatment. But that's all I'm saying on it. I just want to know what happens now. Yeah, so keep me up to date. I'll keep y'all up to date. And so moving on. The last current event I want to talk about is the snowstorms that has happened in recent weeks. So I live in Texas, and I'm a northeasterner. So I'm used to the snow. I'm used to the infrastructure set in place to clean up the snow. I'm used to well, now they get like text messages and they can just go on the site, but I'm used to sitting in front of the TV, just waiting for my school district to pop up to say, yeah, y'all not going to school. It'll be everybody else's school district. And then finally you see my school like, yes, we don't gotta go to school today. Or they get a delay. But nah, we have, they have the infrastructure in place, Oh, it's gonna snow. All right, let's get the snow plows ready. Let's clean the streets. Let's get everybody ready to go to school. And you gotta pray for like 20 inches of snow just to miss school or work or whatever. But not in Texas. You get a centimeter of snow. That snow turns into ice. And Texans don't know how to drive, whether it's wet, cold, anything but sunny and clear. Texans don't know how to drive. And even still, they kind of don't. But yeah, you put some dryness on the roads, and yeah, Texas just shut down. And I feel like there should be enough money to be like, all right, we can get this many snowplows in this city, this many snowplows in this city. We get the state to get these highways cleared, snowplowed or whatever. I just feel like there should be enough money allocated to the 1 week of snow we get. It's 64 degrees, and 2 days ago it was 30. So Texas weather is on crack. But I think just like, instead of canceling school, I guess they was like, it's cheaper to just cancel school than to hire these 3 people to pave the way for the school buses and the children to walk to school. But that's just my opinion. They just let it sit there. They close everything down. They get scared. The panic buying is stupid. I saw a video. Somebody bought like 30 gallons of milk. Like, you gonna be in your house for like 2-3 days, maybe. Why you need all that? Why y'all panic buying? Gotta buy it. Clear all the shelves of toilet paper. Like, y'all don't already prep for like weeks in advance. People panic. I think that might be one of the schemes. Like, they were like, we're about to have a crazy snowstorm or a crazy hurricane. Make sure you go out, get your essentials. And then people hear that, they go crazy, and then like, oh, panic buy. We need this. And nothing's left for the people who, just want to make sandwiches for the rest of the week. There's no bread on the shelves because people done panic bought 4 loaves of bread. Like, they're gonna be locked in the house for months on end. Like, I just don't understand people. Maybe that's the biggest thing. I just don't understand people and their thought process. Maybe I'll go back to school and just take all psychology classes and just try to understand the human brain, because y'all weird. But to end it off, I just think, there should be some allotted money to a few people that go out, shovel the snow, plow the snow, and, don't let it sit, ice over, and then cause more accidents. Because in Texas, like, you'll be 70 in the day and 30 at night. Weird. But like I said, it'll be warm, so all the snow melts, and then it gets cold, but there's still water, and it's so cold, the water freezes and then turns into black ice, and then just makes everything, less safe when you could have just plowed it in the first place. Or at least put some salt down. Okay, yeah. Alright. I'll digress. But everybody that's still in the north, that's dealing with freezing temperatures, like my father and my father's side of the family. Stay warm. You know, I know y'all still got to go to work because they have the infrastructure set in place to, you know, get the snow out the way. But, I digress. Stay warm. Our topic of the day. We're currently at like 35-ish minutes, depending on how I cut it down. But our topic of the day has to deal with the month that we are in, Black History Month. As you have seen or noticed, if you are watching on the tube of you, then you see this wonderful book that I have, Black AF History. And then small titles, The Unwhitewashed Story of America. Thomas, why you got that book? Because I'm not a big fan of history. I don't know a lot of stuff when it comes to history. I know the basics. I know what schools have taught me. As of recent or as of late, being out of school and, you know, hearing what's being taught in some schools, curriculum changes and things of that nature, a lot of stuff is being overlooked, forgotten, rewritten, and, you know, just not getting the truth of history. And I don't know a lot of history, but I do know that if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And I don't want to be in a world where I don't know, like, the things that are happening that lead up to history being repeated. And I want to know more about my people. I want to know more about Black history. I bought this book a few months ago, haven't opened it. And then last night I was like, you know, I gotta get the pod out. It's Black History Month. I'll try to finish this book by the end of the month. And maybe as I read, like I said previously in the episode, I'll put out some facts about Black history every day for the month of February. So I'm reading the book. I got through the first chapter in the intro. It's funny. It has some comedic tones to it, especially if you are of Black heritage, because it's relatable. Things that happen in this older gentleman's life is by Michael Harriot, as you see. In this older gentleman's life, has happened in mine, for the most part, because we're all raised in similar aspects. We all have common understandings of things, of phrases and things that go on in Black households. So I just wanted to enlighten myself and see what facts were skewed in the history I was taught. And you may say, hey, you can't just use that book as a primary source. I don't. I have the knowledge I was taught. I have the book. I have Google. If I feel like, hey, that don't make sense or that don't sound right, I can Google it. And the beauty of being an educated person is you know how to search, do research. I said it in multiple episodes. Do your research. Because if you just take everything at face value, then you'll be like half the people that voted for the Orange Man. And yeah, but yeah, do your research. So, you know, I got the book. The first chapter was pretty much talked about the initial start to how blacks got to America, how the settlers came in and how they lived with the indigenous people, and you know, there was a few instances where I was like, well, if this one thing didn't happen, we wouldn't be America. If this one person didn't do this, we wouldn't be America. But yeah, so I'm reading this book. It's a really good book so far. At the end, I think I should have a pod by the end of it. I'll sum up everything that I've read. But yeah, history repeats itself. Black history is American history. So, I mean, I know we have a dedicated month, the shortest month, but it should be taught in more depth. Because if you try to erase the facts, then like I said previously, then we're just doomed to repeat it. People will have skewed thoughts of events that happen. They may say one thing when it actually is the other, but they were taught that one thing, and they have enough people around them that support the thing that they were taught, because they were all brought up in the same community, all brought up in the same all bring up in the same classroom, and they all just, should have that shared thought, because that's what they were taught. So if you don't branch out and try to learn things on your own, then we'll just all be in a I don't have the right analogy or metaphor for it, but we'll all be in that because I'm not going to be in it, they'll all be in that same bubble, being ignorant. They'll be in that same bubble being ignorant. Ignorant is lack of knowledge. So don't be ignorant. Go out, do your research, fact check things, and just learn some stuff. So my goal of February is to finish this book, learn some things about my people, and share those things with you. And hopefully this isn't the only book I read this year. But if it is, then there'll be more books than I've read in the past 5+ years. Man, it's been I don't really like reading books that much, but yeah. So progress. So we talked about the book. We talked about a little bit about Black history, and we talked about history repeating itself. So since it is the 3rd of February, and people, are in their own bubbles, I just want to give you a brief history of Black history and how recent it really is. Because people try to make you forget or tell you that it's not those times anymore, so forget about it, move on. It's not. America in general is a baby compared to all these other nations and countries. America is a baby, a powerful baby, but it's a baby nonetheless. And the history of America, Black history, is intertwined with those, I'm gonna say, few years, because like I said, America is a baby. So just saying, hey, forget about it, it wasn't that long ago where we couldn't drink from the same fountain. It wasn't that long ago when we couldn't go to the same school. It wasn't that long ago. So I'm going to give you all a brief summation of American history. In 1619, African slavery begins. Settlers was like, hey, we don't know how to feed ourselves. Let's go steal some black folk. No, let's go steal some Africans, because they weren't black folk. We ain't become black until later on. Let's go steal some Africans. Africans came over and was like, well, we're slaves now. Let me show you how to feed yourselves. So, us knowing how to do stuff, grew crops, brought sustenance, did all the work, because, settlers didn't know how. And that was in 1619. I'm just going to jump a little bit. And that was 1619. 160 years later, America got its independence from the UK. The Brits. 1865. So we're jumping. 1865, June 19th, is when all Africans or black folk understood or were told that they are free. Word was spread everywhere else, but until June 19th, 1865, when word got to Texas and was like, hey, y'all free now. That's why Juneteenth is a holiday. Because y'all celebrate y'all independence from the Brits. We celebrate our independence from y'all. And y'all, I'm generalizing the white folk, the, colonizers, the settlers, the enslavers, the masters. Masters, that's what they was called. Because y'all not, alright, tangents, me overthinking my words I'm saying. But June 19th that's why Juneteenth is a thing. Because word got to the last remaining slaves that was like, hey, y'all don't got to be slaves no more. Celebrate. So that was 1865. Now let's jump almost 100 years later. Because just because we free don't mean we stop working on the fields. Don't mean we get to go to school. Don't mean we get to do this, this, and this. There was a whole bunch of wrong happening between these years and still continued. So we're going to jump about 100 years. 1954 was the desegregation of schools. 1954. It's 2026. That's 75 years ago. 72 years ago. 70-something years ago. Y'all grandparents were part of the segregated schools. Y'all grandparents were segregated from those schools. Just grandparents. I mean, I know a lot of y'all, having babies early, and some are grandparents in their 40s or 30s now. But that's wild. But yeah, y'all grandparents and definitely y'all great grandparents were part of segregation. That's 1954. My mom was born in 72. My dad 71, I believe. 1964 through 68, civil rights is being enacted. Throughout that time, so it took 100 years from freedom to get to civil rights. 1968. Like I said, my mom was born in 72. So my mom was it's like 4 years later, you just being born into a still racist America where they was like, we just want to be civil. We want to be treated fairly. That's 50 some odd years ago. 60 years ago. That's some people's parents. That's some people's grandparents. Some of y'all parents are old for some reason, and y'all young. I don't understand the math sometimes, but y'all parents are were born or were in as a child the civil rights movement. That's only 60 years ago. Y'all say forget about it. It was so long ago. So much has changed since then. But imagine if we were willing to come in 1619 and we worked as, partners, and everybody, worked together equally, because all humans are equal. We all bleed the same. We all die the same. We get born. We are born. We live. We die. Everybody has that cycle. What you do in between the born and the death, that's for you and God. But that was only 60 years. That's crazy, right? Am I wrong to think that that's crazy? Okay, maybe I am. But a lot has happened. It took 40 years. It took 40 years for us to get our first black president. It took 20 years to get our first black astronaut. Yeah, it's a lot has happened. Just imagine if people were. It's a lot. So, like I said, I'm gonna try to give y'all snippets throughout the month. But all that to say, and I'm gonna give y'all a list of something in a second. But all that to say, it's more recent than you think. No, I'm gonna say it. So there's some Disney movies that we still like cherish today that was made before all this happened, before the civil rights. There's like some movie made in like 1954, like a Mickey Mouse movie. They's like, oh, that's a dope movie, and then you look it up and be like, oh, that was made in 1954. That's crazy. Black people weren't able to drink from the same fountain, but we all love the movie now. If y'all don't, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm glad to be in a position that we are now to an extent, because racism is still a thing. People still wear hoods with the eyes cut out. People still walk the streets thinking the guy with the mustache was on their side and is the best person ever. And then it's a lot. And we'll talk about more throughout the month and next episode, and whoever my next guest is, we'll have those conversations, and I'll give y'all updates on the book. So yeah, a lot has happened in the 400 years of America. A lot has happened. And only in the past 50 to 60 years have Black Americans been given the opportunity to be who we are. And I know there's a lot of prominent figures prior to 1964, 1968. But I'm just saying, for like what is considered equal treatment, a lot has been progressed. A lot has happened and a lot has changed. So hopefully within the next 60 years, a lot more has changed, and we'll be in a better place. Shoot, if we make it those 50, 60 years, because apparently doomsday is around the corner. I digress. So I'm just going to go to a list real quick, and then we'll get to our motivation, and then we'll wrap up the pod. I've been talking for almost an hour. I still got to edit it, and it is 45 minutes past when I said that this episode's got to be put out. But deadlines are only set for yourself. And if people hold you to that deadline, then that's great. That means you have a support system that's like, hey man, I expected it to be out at 12. Why is it out at 3? It's like, hey man, I'm sorry. I appreciate your support. I hope you still watch it or listen to it, but I just didn't put it out because I needed to read. And I read the book, and now I'm putting out the episode. And yeah, all right. So this list is everything that Black folk have invented or are responsible for, and I'm gonna give you a few of them. All right. So the following list, the list I have is wild. So the following list I have is, I can't support the list that I had with facts yet. So I had to Google a list to give y'all of all Black African heritage inventions that we use today. So here's a list. Enjoy the side of my face. The traffic signal, invented by Garrett Morgan. Automatic elevator doors, invented by Alexander Miles in 1887. Refrigerated trucks, invented by Frederick McKinley Jones in 1940. The fire escape ladder, invented by Joseph Winters, 1878. The folding bed, invented by L.C. Bailey, 1899. Home security, we all use it. If you don't, you might get robbed. Invented by Marie Van Britten Brown, 1966. The super soaker, the water gun, invented by Lonnie G. Johnson in 1990. The dustpan, invented by Lawrence P. Ray, 1897. The cell phone, at least the early concept, was invented by Henry T. Sampson, 1971. Cataract surgery, laser eye surgery, invented by Dr. Patricia Bath. Brain tumor surgery, invented by Dr. Keith Black. Hair care products, Madam C.J. Walker. And there's a few other things that I could, bring up. Alright, and a few things. Okay, so this is where I got my original list. A few things that were invented. Some were like the things you'd be like, that's not real. Some were invented by Africans. A lot of it happened in Egypt, because Egypt is Africa, stupid people. Paper, chess, the alphabet, medicine, civilization, Africans. The lawnmower, John A. Burr. Pressure cooker, Maurice W. Lee. Hairbrush, Lydia Newman. Curtain rod, S.R. Scatron. Ice cream. Y'all love ice cream? Augustus Jackson. I'm going to give y'all two more. Let me see. What I want to give y'all. What do y'all use a lot? The kitchen table. What was y'all using before the kitchen table? H.A. Jackson. I want to know the significance about it. Well, maybe. So I know a table was probably invented. So a kitchen table probably is the distinction. I got to see a picture of the concept. And one more that y'all can't live without. Ooh, this one's for all you military people, including myself. All you gun-toting individuals. The guided missile was invented by a black man by the name of Otis Boykin. So this list is huge. Google black inventions. You'll find the list. It's like the second thing on there after like AI. But we're responsible for a lot of things. A lot of this happened before, those 60 years of change. But American history is black history. Black history is American history. Don't forget it. Love it. Learn it. Understand it. Don't repeat history. Stop treating people as lesser than. Everybody is the same. Everybody bleeds. Everybody breathes. Everybody goes through things, no matter what position of prominence you may be in. Everybody has their struggles. Everybody has their triumphs. Like I said before, your worst day may be somebody's best day. Your best day may be somebody's worst day. But that's just the life we live in. It just depends on how you live it. Motivation for today. When life hands you lemons, plant a tree. Think about it. When life hands you lemons, plant a tree. Then you have a whole bunch of lemons. Make a lemonade stand. You can be a lemon producer. You can do so much more with that tree may produce other trees, and you have a whole. Would it be a vineyard if it's a bunch of would it be an orchard? I don't know. Whatever it is for lemons, that's what you'll have. So when life hands you lemons, plant a tree. There's always something better on the other side. Life update. Jobs haven't been wanting me, even though I'm awesome. So I decided to do my own thing. By the end of this month, I will be a certified home inspector and doing handyman work as well, because life is telling me, hey, We don't want you to work for this person. We don't want you to work for this person. So if life keep telling me that, then I'm going to plant my tree and I'm going to work for myself. It is what it is. It's how it's going to be. Happy Black History Month. Keep loving, keep living, keep doing great things. Be great, do great, love. Thanks for listening to the Ramblings of a Madman. If you want to come on and have a conversation, feel free to message me at the email in the bio. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Life is about choices. It would be great if you choose to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe and be great.
Ain't perfect, but ain't no complaining. I know my shit is different. I just can't explain it. Food for thought.